This is the Future of Automotive with Steve Greenfield.
Welcome back to the latest episode of the Future of Automotive on CBT News, where we put recent automotive and mobility news into the context of the broader themes impacting the industry. I'm Steve Greenfield from Automotive Ventures, and I'm really glad that you could join us this week. We've discussed before on this segment that last year's UAW victory may be short-lived and have unintended consequences. While our argument has had more to do with automakers focusing on robotics and automation to eliminate increasingly expensive union workers, we got somewhat different but related news on this week from automaker Stellantis. The UAW hailed its new contract with Stellantis in November as a triumphant moment, winning $19 billion in new U.S. investment, 25% wage increases, and full-time status for more than 3,000 temporary workers within just the first year. But not all employees have been lucky enough to reap the benefits of that historic UAW deal. Hundreds of Stellantis workers have since found themselves out of a job, and the automaker has raised the possibility of additional layoffs as it absorbs the higher labor costs, shifts to building more electric vehicles, and confronts global economic uncertainty. The recent job cuts have outraged the union leaders, as you can expect, who had celebrated the contract windfall just last fall. After Stellantis dismissed 199 full-time workers at a plant in suburban Detroit, the company also said it will implement indefinite layoffs across its U.S. footprint in the months ahead to quote-unquote help improve productivity and ensure the company's long-term sustainability in a rapidly changing global market. The cost-cutting quest has affected more than just hourly workers and those in the U.S. One highlight of the UAW's new contract with Stellantis was that the company agreed to give 3,200 temporary workers full-time status within the first year. Temporary workers, which Stellantis internally calls supplemental employees, are generally used to fill in for absences or when a plant needs more workers in a short time period. The newly negotiated contract raised starting pay for those jobs from $15.78 to $21 an hour and bars the company from keeping workers in temporary status for more than 9 months. But the approach Stellantis has been using to comply with that commitment isn't quite what the union had in mind. The company terminated 539 of these temporary supplemental employees across the U.S. in January, and 341 at its Jeep Wrangler plant in Toledo, Ohio in March. An additional 239 temp workers were cut at a parts sequencing facility. With competition globally from cheaper vehicles coming out of China and vehicle cost of ownership higher here in the U.S. due to the combination of MSRP inflation and higher interest rates, automakers need to ruthlessly focus on removing operating and production costs. I believe that new UAW contracts containing inflated wage expense is only going to redouble the automakers' focus on using robotics and process automation to eliminate as many human positions as possible in the factory. Stellantis may only be the first of many automakers we see struggling to reconcile higher labor costs, courtesy of renegotiated UAW contracts, under the stark realities of a more globally competitive auto market. So with that, let's transition to our companies to watch. Every week, we highlight interesting companies in the automotive technology space to keep an eye on. If you read my weekly Intel report, we showcase a company to watch and take the opportunity here to share that company with you. Today, our new company to watch is Emma Systems. Emma is a SaaS-based AI-driven platform for airports and airlines that creates a unique real-time and forecasted view on operations and performance. Emma adds visibility and predictability, helping to realize immediate efficiency and sustainability gains. Emma is a real-time information platform, bringing together data from numerous disparate aviation partners. Emma translates this data into a web dashboard, integrating multiple legacy systems, providing one snapshot analysis of the entire aviation operations, from flights to ground movements to weather to passengers to baggage to an aerial view of the aviation runway, and much more depending upon the aviation user's wishes. Emma Systems allows for full flexibility on all levels, with airports themselves in control of what they want to see, measure, and configure. Emma intends to make aviation operations more efficient and predictable and generate accurate forecasting using the most accurate real-time data. If you'd like to learn more about Emma systems, you can check them out at www.emma.aero. So that's it for this week's Future of Automotive segment. If you're an auto tech entrepreneur working on a solution that helps car dealerships, we want to hear from you. We are actively investing out of our dealer fund. If you're interested in joining our investment club to make direct investments into auto tech and mobility startups, please join. There's no obligation to start seeing our deal flow, and we continue to have attractive investment deals available to our members. Don't forget to check out my book, The Future of Automotive Retail, which is available on Amazon.com. And keep an eye out for my new book, The Future of Mobility, which is almost done and will be out soon. Thanks as always for your ongoing support and for tuning into CVT News for this week's Future of Automotive segment, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks for watching The Future of Automotive with Steve Greenfield.